So
Yeah, that's perfectly a-okay.
yeah.
I got my own my own cam up, so
Yeah.
it's perfectly okay.
But GG's to both. Very interesting games for sure. And we are actually going to have Escle versus Flash Midnight as our next game. Escle, the winner of, I know at least one of the playtest weekend tournaments.
Yeah, I remember seeing the name, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch any of those games. So I really, really want to see. There's certain players that I do want to see.
Yep. And so we have our next, yeah, so we'll take care of Escle versus Flash Midnight. And everyone else, make sure you get those games, report those games in. I will keep updating the bracket. So I'm going to tag this and we're going to head to, I guess we'll just make Moonbreaker number 2. I mean, we have Escle here and Flash Midnight are both here. Wonderful.
Perfect.
If you both could kindly deafen and stream your game, it's good. I'm very excited for this matchup.
You definitely have a little bit more experience in terms of like seeing like Eskel and all of them play. So I'm gonna definitely take your hype on that and kind of see where it
I've never
goes.
seen either of them play. Oh, we are already in the game. Very exciting. Let me swap the stream over here. So we do have, they're both opting into the Astra v Astra. And
I just don't see the other guys.
yeah,
streaming.
and they may not be able to. I'm gonna tag
Okay.
them. All right, and we have a bit of a silent game. I don't want to. Oh, just no music coming out of Escle. That's fine. I do that too. The music. I really like the music of this game.
There's a little bit of music. It is very faint.
Okay, yeah, they're just having fun, and it's okay. They don't. I don't like. I want them to be playing in their optimal environment here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I do want to give that shout out. I really like the music in the game. I like the kind of driving force. I think the dynamic music has been really well implemented. If it hits at just the right moments at times, and I know that's not easy to program and tweak the timing to be correct. As I was talking with Sicknick earlier, I've done game jams and we did dynamic music in one of the game jams. And it is very it's a lot of tweaking to make sure you get that right. So it's
A quick question.
It also sounds great.
What do you think about Maximus early game or even late game?
Oh, we don't have Flash Midnight in the chat. Okay.
At your service.
Yeah, so we have Escle here. But I'm sorry, what was your question here now that I've finished doing some logistics?
In terms of like a game where it's Astra versus Astra, how do you feel of having Maximus as like one of your first drops?
I like it. I personally am a fan of hit the boost morale, drop the Maximus next turn, and if you boost morale the Maxis, he was destined to be dropped turn 1. But I mean, there is a lot. I think when you have a Maximus in your starting hand, there is always a lot to be gained from dropping Maximus out turn 1. Because you're going to be able to do a lot of chip damage. However, Flash Midnight got a shrapnel on turn 2.
One would say that that's a hard counter.
Yeah. With that, we were talking about the power of that armor.
I'm very curious to see what Flash Midnight also has as his ship assist abilities right now. He hasn't used any of them yet. But most of the time, whenever you have somebody that's playing in Astra, you like to think that they're either going to be going for a Cinder Fusion, a Stowaway. Sometimes they'll like really enjoy going with Corrosive Particles, especially if they have like a heavy AoE kind of playstyle. And right now he has a Shrapnel and a Pyro, so he does have some pretty significant AoE potential.
Yep. Alrighty. So Days Red, you were going to be up against Autumn Rain if you're watching here. Yep, make sure you show up for your games, friends. Alrighty. So yeah, I like the Maximus drop, but like you said, the Shrapnel here. Big counter, and now a Broken Vengeance. And this is, and with an Axel Pyro, but this is one of those things where I think Astra v Astra, at a decent amount of times, gets pretty coin flippy. But that's just the nature. It's like, what is your starting hand? When you're a character that can just accelerate so hard against yourself, who's getting the boost morales? What is that starting hand can be very impactful to the state of a game.
Yep, and one of the other big portions is it can come really down to the assist abilities. So say for example, if you're an Astra and you got your Cinder Infusion, while the other one got Plink plus like Vortex Beam just because of a bad draw, that other Astra that got the Cinder Infusion is going to be like leaps and bounds ahead.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Sorry, keep.
But right now, I'm looking at Flash Midnight and on how he's playing, and I'm trying to think if he should be more like up and pressure like. It seems like he was starting to fall back more than anything. He probably is kind of scared of the pyro.
Too many choices. Aw, sweet.
Yep. Yeah. So far, Flash. It does. I keep having to bounce between it, but has Flash Midnight been kind of backing up to kind of kite them into this Broken Vengeance and Shrapnel?
Yeah, he definitely could be.
Oh, it's turn 4. How much you want to bet they're going to Corrosive Particles? And, oh no, they would have Corrosive Particles before doing this.
Yeah.
Good use of Astra passive here. Those of you that do not know, if Astra gets that last hit on to an opponent, they get a free reinforce, which is like drawing from your deck into your hand, which normally you have to pay 3 Cinder for.
Yeah, it's always worth trying to get the Astra kill if it's possible. Even if you notice that your chance percentage is a little bit lower, being able to get that free reinforce is always worth it.
Mm-hmm. And
even if you miss initially.
Yep. Something else I've noticed here is both players have, outside of that Cinder Infusion from Flash Midnight, we have not seen Escle reveal what they have going on here. And oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. Astra v Astra is crazy because this is such a strong, insanely strong board from Flash Midnight. If I'm Escle, I'm thinking I'm going to back up and develop my board. What would you do here, Sick?
Yeah, I think I would pretty much do the same exact thing that you just said. Right now, he has a shrapnel, and the shrapnel, whenever it shoots, it isn't like any other unit where it can shoot across the board and potentially hit. It actually has a range that the shotgun can hit. So if you kind of like fall back from that, you can do a little bit better. And I think right there was kind of a blunder a little bit. Toxoid is a fantastic unit to use, but its poison only really takes an effect if you actually damage the unit.
Yep.
And since it does 0 damage, it won't poison to drop itself down to 1.
Yep. Yeah. And I will say, I like that move at least, because you're at a stage of the game where you need to, if you're going to try and get damage, it needs to be chip damage.
Yeah, and one thing that I just thought about as well, he could have used his corrosive particles partly on shrapnel to do that 1 damage.
Oh, yeah. That would have been insane. I think they just realized. Okay, I like this. Keep that investment into the Toxoid from dropping. Use the invulnerability. Cover your mistake. They're good. But, yeah, you could. I feel like you could tell Escle was like, whoops.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should have used that on the shrapnel.
Yep.
Oh no! So okay,
for working on it here. It's a bit of a mess at times, but we're doing good here. Oh, the thicket, the board just gets more insane here for Flash Midnight.
And here I'd expect for him. Oh, that's the one thing with Astra. For just always making misses whenever they should count. So that could have been played in a couple of different ways, and I don't think any of them were worse than another. Like, I think that overall it was a pretty decent play to just try to go ahead and kill that pyro.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think So right now, Thicket and Switchback are the two things that he needs to worry about the most.
I need to make a quick announcement. Remember, this is double elimination. You are not out after one set loss. You have to lose 2 sets to be out of the tournament. You are guaranteed bare minimum 4 games over 2 matches.
Look, leader lead.
Oh my gosh.
I think.
I just realized the subtitles. Astra's like,
Oh.
look, leaderly. Ferg makes unprofessional ribbon.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
I
so
think-
smart.
Ooh. I think he really wanted to make sure that he got that hit.
Yep. And I like it because they know they have a Torian and they can just drop Torian out now.
Exactly. You drop the Torian, kind of get it onto your Astra, and then you don't need to necessarily worry so much about the 6 potential damage from the
Yep.
Switchback.
And I like it. Hard committing onto damaging this Astra. Oh, that is so huge. Their boldness pays off. So this is what we were talking about. Escle has determined and realized their board will not beat Flash Midnight's board. It's simply not happening. So they have crew versus crew, but they know. Oh man, they know they have the Torian to keep the Astra up when the push comes to shove, and just force the issue onto Flash Midnight's Astra. And that's something I've talked about, I think, in Discord chats with other people before. Knowing when you have lethal when you have lethal or the potential to set up for lethal is so important. And you can tell Flash Midnight is feeling the pressure here.
Yeah. One thing I really want to see is what Flash Midnight's other ship assist ability is. Because depending on what that is...
Oh my gosh. That is exactly what they needed to have happen. Switchback hitting both 60% shots. Maybe a little less because of the distance. That kind of makes up for the crit, actually.
Yeah, it really, really does. I mean, there is a lot of damage that could be put on Escle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see what his other ship assist ability is.
Indeed. Folks, make sure you are reporting your matches. I'm not seeing as many as I would expect right now, though I think games may just be going to three bangers. We've actually only covered 2 games so far, so yeah, actually some games might still be in the banger stage. Ooh, so Escle pushing the issue here. It's again, I think this is a response to the fact. Oh my gosh, they just won. That's 4 damage. Bird's gonna finish it.
Oh, still has burn.
And that's what I was talking. Recognizing when you have that lethal. That's game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let me at him.
What a finish from Escle.
Oh man,
That
was good.
That was such a well played sequence. They recognized they had an opportunity in, force the issue, use the Torian to kind of use that evasion to eat some damage, and using your own health as a resource and just forcing the issue with your damage.
Mm-hmm.
And, Escle recognized Flash Midnight was focusing on picking off their crew, so they just kept their eye on the prize. Wow, what an ending.
I really want to ask, like, if Flash is on the Discord now, I really want to ask
Flash is here, but yeah.
He's not deafened, though.
Oh, they're not deafened. Yeah, Flash. Don't. You don't need to speak. You don't need to appear on stream if you don't want to. But you could at least you could type. What was your other ship assist? I bet you it was the heal lifeline. There was no situation where lifeline could have been dropped. But if you just message us in the tournament chat.
I'm very interested to know what it was.
Yeah. But welcome, and please hop up your Discord stream when you get the chance, Flash Midnight. Really good game for both sides, by the way. Good board development for both sides. Escle just seeing the opportunity. And, yeah. Let me make sure. And make sure, please. Oh, I love that I look over here and I see that, I believe I see that the 2 players are not looking at each other's Discord stream, because that would definitely be an instant loss of match.
Yeah, I just really need to know what his other ship assist really was.
You just need to know what their other ship assist was. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Oh. I wonder what's going on with Flash here. Hope everything is okay. Okay, they're starting it. Yeah, there might be some mixed signals, but yeah.
Astra, on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes trouble.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see this game. We see Escle on something that is not the Astra, but also Flash Midnight's Astra had a good showing in that first game, and you know, knowing this matchup, it is Astra favored, right? And Astra has first turn, which is insane, because that gives you one less unit, so you're more likely to get the unit you want to be boosted, to get that Cinder reduction, than your opponent you would be if you had 4 options to choose from, and you get to have that board advantage of dropping something sooner, and your ship assists come online sooner.
I'm looking at the Crosshair, Taria, Torian, Toxide, Ursix, Nectarvine. Nectarvine's probably going to be pretty good in this situation. Especially for like a Zax. Like if you're playing with the Zax, you want to try to be able to get a little bit closer, or to make it so that you put your opponent into a position where you want them to be in, either by like at the start of the game. It's never really a great decision to drop an early mine, just because you might get stepped back, especially if you're going up against an Astra. But later in the game, once you are able to drop your sleeper mine to kind of like hold off like a section, it can be pretty effective.
Give me 1 second here. It was Stasis.
Oh,
Interesting, but
I would have used Stasis on a couple of occasions.
it's one of those things where who knows what's going on. And it's tournament. You're being streamed. There are nerves. So many things can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, it's fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Flash Midnight, for giving us that info while you're mid-game. That's very gracious of you, but please keep focus on your match. You're taking one of our playtest tournament second placers to a
But
really
just
close-
as like, sorry, just to go back to the other game, just like in one kind of like situation, what would have been huge as well is if you would have used Stasis on the Astra, and then they wouldn't have been able to use Boost Morale, giving them an extra round to potentially do something.
Yeah, we should be getting some more games up in here soon. I would expect some of these first rounds will have will be going on here. Yeah, already.
Very curious to see what they want to drop.
What's the hurry?
Yeah. Okay. So something I hear a lot of higher level players talk about is how that top corner with that arm is in probably the best spot to be on this map. But so it's very interesting to see Escle kind of back off from it, seeing the Astra going up there. That said, some of that advantage is mitigated. Astra is airborne, but it's interesting to see Escle shy away from that sector of the board.
Yeah, if you have some, like, definitely depends on like certain characters, but a couple of things that you can do is you can have a Batol on the opposite side of that wall. You could have a Florio if you decide that you want to have him kind of like, in your roster or anything like that, because all of that is just strict hard cover. You can put anything in back of there.
Mm-hmm.
Look alive, Amy.
For sure.
Or you can just like hard plant like a heavy damage dealing unit as well.
Alrighty, man. There are so many players here that I'm very excited to get a chance to watch play here.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
think one of my favorite ones that I keep looking forward to watching. It's probably my favorite Zax I've seen is Yurga.
Oh, right. Yep.
Really like their Zax, but looking here, Flash Midnight with another crazy board here with these Crosshair and the Switchback to start off with. That seems like a really strong position here because Crosshair obviously 3 damage is nothing to snuff at, 8 health, and you get that crit on newly spawned units, which I think that is still, you don't get that yet because there's a bug I believe they're fixing. But you still, you can't just drop a unit and forget about it like some of these static turret things. And then of course Switchback with the potential to put 3 damage out. See Escle trying to get those grabs, get some optimal firing lines.
I think I think he's doing the right move right here because he needs to use that Toxoid to attack. But I feel like he probably should have used that earlier so that the Zax could have probably finished off the
they don't
Crosshair.
Have range. They don't have line of sight.
They did have it before, but again, learning opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
But still, that was exactly the plan that he had to make. It was just maybe just in hindsight, he kind of realized. Oh no!
Oh man, the crit coming through.
Yep.
I mean, that's the game. 1 out of every 10 shots should crit. Theoretically, and 1 out of every 10 shots that hit should crit because it is about a 10% chance of your accuracy. And now you're just gonna have to eat 6 damage on your Zax. Oh my gosh! Flash Midnight did not forget Stasis Field this game.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty big. Escle is in such a rough spot. He's gonna have to eat 6 more damage from the Switchback, whatever else is on Flash Midnight's deck for the next turn when they drop them, and a Crosshair if the Crosshair can get line of sight. That said, we do have Orbital Strike. That could get rid of at least part of that and maybe even hit the Astra for 3 damage. But
that's a total of 9 damage that he could potentially do on the next round, not including dropping a unit that could potentially do damage to the Zax as well. So there could potentially be lethal depending on what he has left on his bridge.
Yeah, we do know, like, we've seen him in some interesting positions before, pull his back. We've seen them, in some interesting positions before here. Alrighty.
Hope you like the smell of Ferg's mouth.
Sorry here. There's some good tags in this game here.
A beautiful battlefield.
There's some good tags here. Flash Midnight, I think, is an excellent tag. Gonna be honest here.
Yep.
I see a Lord Jerry spelt with a G, so it's like Lord Gary. I like that one.
Does have some range. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, this again, this is why we do best of 3, right? Flash Midnight was able to get the board again that they wanted in the first game, but now kind of able to seal the deal.
Yeah, very, very impressive turn.
Also, just as a side note, I don't know if anyone here. Oh man, you say your piece here. Say your piece here as we get to the end here.
No, it's just I can't. That was so well played.
Yep, and it was not to take anything away from Flash Midnight. They played what they had exactly how they were supposed to a T. But that's also an Astra diff.
Yeah, exactly. But like things could have maybe potentially have changed early game if he would have taken out the Crosshair early, using the gravity disc to use the Toxoid to bring him down to 1, to use the Zax to take out the Crosshair could have given him a little bit more time, a little bit better of an opportunity to get into a better position as well. But yeah, that was very, very good.
Yeah.
Definitely took advantage of the opportunity that he was given, and stuck with it and just kept the ball rolling.
Yep.
Very nice.
And we get a game 3.
That was very quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good game here, I think.
Oh, did he go into another
Oh, he
public?
went to public. Oh no! Flash Midnight's in their head. No.
Yeah.
It's a mental diff.
That was so
man.
funny.
Oh man.
So far, all of these games have been pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and just as a quick heads up, it just popped in my head as I was just kind of checking things out. If we are streaming your match, if we are streaming your match, don't watch the Twitch stream. Just exit out of the Twitch. You can hop in and watch it the fun afterwards. We want to make sure everything is as fair as possible. I have not seen anyone do that yet. I've been keeping an eye on the users in chat from my manager, but I just want to make sure that info is out into the open, because we don't want you to hear our commentary, and we also don't want to give unfair advantages and whatnot.
Exactly. I'll be right back.
Oh, there was just a misunderstanding with rules. With Flash Midnight put an Astra in. That was an oopsie. Yep. All good. Accidents happen.
Yep. Time to make a quick roster.
Yep. Accidents do happen. Good catch by Escle. Excellent heads up. I know there are. I've played in tournaments, not Moonbreaker tournaments, but in other games where people would immediately assume ill intent. I would honestly just assume it's our first time ever doing a tournament like this. I like the yellow paint job on this Torian. I just noticed from Escle. Really like that Torian paint job. It's simple, but the colors look really nice and poppy. Like they pop at you. Alrighty. And let's make sure Face Stab and Slippy Nomad are playing. But yeah, so Zach's second turn. Zax v Zax. There's going to be a lot of positioning. Positioning is going to be the big determining factor for this game. That is almost certainly a Maximus. Boom. Let's make history, people. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Alrighty. Yeah, so just to give you an idea, heads up in the bracket, we are still in the winner's side of this bracket. Loser side is going to start up once the second round of games kind of gets sorted out.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm back. Sorry, I had to
good.
step
Now
away
I
for
can
a
actually
second.
handle some more tournament stuff without trying to fry my brain doing two things at once.
A Maximus is dropped. Zax. Escle being very, very careful with his positioning right now.
All right, we're back. Yeah.
I find that
Some of these first round games are going so long. That's what I like, because this game can't, I don't know about you, I have definitely seen games where big back and forths.
yeah, certainly. I'm trying to.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I have just tuned in to see that. So Escle Sorry, Flash Midnight dropped the Maximus, and it saved the two-sitter for the previous turn to hard commit on this Switchback and Maximus placement. Escle hasn't dropped a single unit on the board yet. So I would imagine they're going to use this Torian, right, to kind of be able to sort of use that accuracy reduction to eat some damage. But, man, this is so interesting to me because oh my gosh, that is quite the bridge from Escle. No wonder they've been playing conservatively.
Yeah.
But this is so interesting because I'm not used to seeing people just drop big name units. For me personally, I try to go for kind of that low cost efficiency to curve my way up, to ramp my way up as much as I can if I have those units. But it's so interesting to see games where obviously I think Escle just had an interesting bridge, but Flash Midnight I'm going to slam Switchback round 3.
Oh no.
But like it's so interesting to see. It's like, here's Switchback. What are you going to do? But now, the Broken Vengeance. Put that there in the way. It's a threat.
You can potentially drop the Broken Vengeance, use his Cinder Infusion, and then drop the Torian as well.
Yep. And it's like, that'd be such a good play here. We're almost certainly going to see that. Yep. Yep. Put the Torian off to the side. And now anytime you hit, it's deciding if they want to put on the Broken Vengeance or the Zax. I think it's good to keep your Broken Vengeance standing. Oh my gosh. The Orbital Strike is huge. That's not too bad, but yeah, I like the decision here to play to protect the Broken Vengeance, not the Zax. You have 20 health on your Captain. That is a resource you can use to trade out to keep other things alive.
Exactly. You can kind of use them as your tank in a little bit, especially if you have a play to make in the later rounds.
For sure. For sure.
I don't know what is in the rest of his roster for Escle.
Yeah.
Crosshair.
We can check. You know what? Those rosters are readily available. So looking here at the spreadsheet, Escle's Zax roster. Yeah, they just got almost all their 4 costs in at the beginning. They do have a Nectarvine. We have a Guardian in here. Sorry, that's Torian, Guardian. That's funny. I put this into this as well. They have Chuck and Co, but so it's actually a lot of 4 costs. Only Maximus is the only 1 cost in the Escle. Oh, I'm looking at the Extilier list. What the heck? So for Escle, we have Toxoids, Jailbreaks, a lot more 4 and 3 costs than I would expect, but there's a Taria in there as well. I think Taria is pretty essential for a Zax list. That rapid fire is super huge, but either way, this is what happens when you play to keep your Broken Vengeance up. Your Zax is now in this dangerous position.
And especially this map is probably one of the smaller maps. Like, if you don't have a unit to drop within, like, the first round or 2, you're going to be surrounded exactly how he's surrounded right now.
Cool under pressure.
Just a casual crosshair.
just drop the crosshair, you know?
On time is late.
Your heart beating fast too?
Just going straight face. Good. Popular opinion on my side.
All right. Hit me with it.
For Flash Midnight to lob a nade close to the Torian and the into the BV, so that the captain can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess he could just do it this way too.
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and we have. I mean, if this shot hits,
Yeah.
we have our first upset, our only real upsets. This was a second
Flash
place.
Midnight.
Yeah, someone who placed second in the playtest tournaments, going down to the losers bracket. Both sides played very well. To be clear, There were, I would say, Flash Midnight got that switch back in all 3 starting bridges, which is insane, but also they played the board incredibly well in all 3 of those situations. And Escle also, we saw that excellent play to finish him off game 1. That was really strong to kind of take an interesting board state to a win there. But
I find the 3 different, so the first game was vastly more different than the last 2 that happened. Whenever Flash Midnight was on his Astra, that was a very, very quick game. That was just consistent pressure. And then on this map that we just saw, same exact thing, just kind of went straight up, kind of cornered the Zax into that upper right corner and just kept putting pressure on.
Yeah. Well, what we have next is Corallar